Good evening, beautiful people. Good evening, beautiful people. Yes. Firstly, we plan to have our hair colors match. I just want y'all to know that. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is such a joy to be in this beautiful room with so many smiles and social justice love. And I couldn't be more excited to be introducing our honoree tonight. This is really a full circle moment for me to introduce the phenomenal Rudean Leinaeng tonight. When I think about the journey that brought me here, from growing up in a township on the Cape Flats in South Africa to standing on this very stage in New York, I know without a doubt that women like Rudean made that path possible for women like me. Rudean is a chemist, okay, an educator, an anti-apartheid activist, and a lifelong freedom fighter. But more than that, she is someone who loves her values with power and just a boundless heart. She began teaching at Bronx Community College in 1967 and spent 30 years showing students, especially women of color, that they belonged in science. She believed in making education not just accessible, but joyful. She made chemistry feel less like a wall and more like a door. She made her students feel seen and believed in. In 1974, she took her two sons and moved to Tanzania, where she taught chemistry and physics while marching for African liberation. Okay, global girl, yes. And if you know Rudean, you know that how much she loved Tanzania with and its radical political agenda. She didn't just teach science, she loved solidarity. She believed in uyama, that deep communal care. She practiced it wherever she went, and that's clear. When she returned to New York, she married Chesray Delphi, who I heard is a very handsome man, a South African activist who was in exile. Together they turned their Bronx apartment into a sanctuary. It became a home for a lot of South African freedom fighters, offering safety, warmth, strategy, and I'm sure there was some good food. That living room held the spirit of resistance and family all at the same time. Rudean also became deeply involved with Women for Radical and Economic Equality, organizing local boycotts, helping write a woman's Bill of Rights, registering voters, tabling for civil rights legislation, and distributing resources for women and femmes. She showed up again and again and again, not just for the spotlight, but because justice called, and she always answered. And when I asked her what mattered the most for her tonight, as we were wrapping up a call and we were getting to know each other more, I said to her, Rudean, is there anything that I have to say tonight that feels important to you? And she said to me, I'm happy to get an award tonight, but I think about all the women, all the organizers that are not on the stage tonight, all the people whose labor we don't get to see, who work on street corners, who work in church hallways, who work in synagogues, who work all over the city to organize labor and social justice for people with all kinds of identities. And I thought to myself, it really speaks to your heart, Rudean, if I had to be honest, that even in a moment when we're honoring you, you think about your community and people who've come before you. You talked about the legacy that you stand on and that I now stand on too. And I can say with lots of love and conviction in my heart that Rudean is a woman that you want next on your side when you're fighting for any kind of cause. This is the girl you want to call up, okay? This is the person you want to organize with, because her love and conviction was always grounded in radical freedom for everyone. Rudean Leinaeng, welcome. And congratulations. And also, please, you have to give it up for Rudean's dress, because it's a beautiful outfit. Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug?
Well, I don't need to really say anything, because she's told everything. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm deeply grateful to the Clara Lemlich Committee of Labor Arts for this honor, and extend my congratulations to my fellow awardees. I also wish to express my gratitude to Georgia Weaver, part of the chorus there, for nominating me. Chesray for giving me that incredible introduction. I don't recognize the person, but anyway. Sorry, okay. And my sons, Thomas Allen Harris and Lyle Ashton Harris, and my sister, Laura Johnson, for their unwavering support throughout the years. When I heard about this award, I thought about my parents. I was raised in a loving home and Bethlehem Church where folks believed in helping their neighbor, whether they were next door or abroad. My father instilled in us the value of education and often spoke of his connection to Africa. These principles have guided my decisions and choices, and I am very appreciative of the experiences I've had as an activist. When I was a student at Hunter College and also at NYU Graduate School, there were few women of color, or even men, in my chemistry class. Chemistry seemed to frighten students. After graduate school, I accepted a teaching position, as Chesray said, at Bronx Community College, where I taught students who had to pass chemistry in order to continue their curriculum. Some were in nursing, others in biology. I strived to make my courses understandable and also taught them methods of studying and problem solving. I told them that if they worked hard, they could master the subject, and most of them did. In 1974, I accepted an offer to teach chemistry in Tanzania, a country that desperately needed science teachers. I had always wanted to go there since I learned about President Nyerere's policy of Ujamaa, cooperative economics. During my 2 years at Zanagi Secondary School for Girls in Dar es Salaam, I implemented some of the methods that I had developed previously. I had to be innovative because textbooks were in short supply. Nevertheless, students in my senior chemistry classes worked diligently, and many passed the national chemistry exam. I was also involved in extracurricular activities with the students. For example, my students and I organized a successful African fashion show benefiting South African refugee children in Tanzania. My sons, who attended local schools, not only made friends, but also learned the Swahili language and culture. I wasn't really good at the language. It was a life-changing experience. After returning to the US in 1976, I married Clara Lemlich, a South African exile and a member of the African National Congress, and worked beside him in the anti-apartheid movement. At the same time, I joined RE, Women for Racial and Economic Equality. Together, we lobbied, marched, protested, organized forums to demand economic and social justice as outlined in RE's Women's Bill of Rights. During the 1970s and 80s, I helped RE to organize the annual South African Women's Day program, August 9th, which commemorated the bravery of 20,000 South African women who marched against the apartheid government in 1956. There are two other experiences I'd like to briefly share. I know I'm over time, okay? In 2019, I published a historical novel, Cold War and Love, about my paternal grandparents. My grandfather was a Harlem Hellfighter during World War I. And my grandmother single-handedly protected her children when the deadly Spanish influenza swept through Albany in 1918. Currently, I'm participating in a new film my son, Thomas Allen Harris, is producing, titled My Mother, the Scientist. The film encourages young people of color to pursue careers in the STEM fields. Given the present-day attacks on science and scientists, this film will be extraordinarily timely and important. To the young people here, I urge you to follow your passions and continue to work for justice, equality, peace, and freedom. Thank you.